There we go. And again, shout outs to Oklahoma SBDC and SCORE Austin for just being amazing Google partners who made sure that this is available to their community and are truly vested in your success. Now, this is who I am. I've done all this talking and it's been 7 minutes and you don't even know who I am unless you just saw the name. Then you were coming in when you registered, but my name is Maria Elena Duron. I come from small business. So I've been in small business for 20 plus years. Beforehand, I was in corporate America, a chief marketing officer. I understand the marketing fundamentals, and that's actually where my education's from. But truly, my fort of experience comes from working with small businesses and being a small business owner and understanding what it's like to try everything and not have that work, and understanding the importance of trying to be really great at taking care of your customers, as well as also being chief marketer, chief janitor, and everything else that just has to be done in the business, right? So it's truly where you're trying to keep in harmony with everything. And sometimes that happens, especially when it doesn't happen. I mean, especially when cash flow is king, because cash flow, that's so important. I have the great honor with the Google team to work with military families, veterans who are actually transitioning to civilian life, or military spouses who are dealing with deployment and transitions and PCSs while they also have a business. I do come from a strong military background, and I've lived my life on all sorts of bases across the world. So I'm excited to share that experience with them. But first and foremost, I'm a small business owner. Hello, Becky. I do see you here. And also, Adrian, I do see that you gave a shout out about your business. So I am a mom of 3 boys, 3 grown boys. In fact, that's one of my boys there that actually is a Google photographer who was coming around with me when we were able to do this more in person. Of course, hopefully that will come back, right? So let's talk about reaching customers online. If you need anything, any resources, I highly encourage you to go to this URL, because there's a lot of resources that are free and available to you as a small business. Then, of course, if you need to get a hold of me, this is my name. So it's Duron, and you can find me on Twitter. That's my Twitter handle. Awesome, Donna. I love that. You do personalized one-on-one QuickBooks training. That's awesome. See, I love that, because businesses need to know their numbers, right? If you're not measuring, you're not marketing, right? Okay, and you're not moving your business, that's for sure. And this is my Instagram handle here. Now, if you do want a copy of the replay, understand that this is me. I don't have a team working through and with me, because the Google team does not do this part. So just do know that it does take time for the replay to render. Give me a little bit of grace that it will probably not be till this evening or even tomorrow morning before the actual replay shows up at this link. But you can get the handouts right now, and the slides will be there as well after this. All right. So how you can get there is just take a quick snap of that QR code. You see that there right to the left of your screen, or you can go to this URL. If you want to take a quick screenshot, you can go to that. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move in, and let's talk about how to reach customers online. Because if people can't find you online, if you can't reach them online, then you're not visible. And if people don't know you exist, they cannot do business with you. So when people have something that they need to know, go do, or buy, where do they go first? Well, about 94% of the time, they go to Google. They go to other places too eventually. They may go to Google. They may even go to socials and do a shout out to all their friends. If they're looking for more information, they may even go to other browsers, so other search engines. They could even go and search on YouTube because they're looking for a video to make it work, right? In fact, I'm doing a session today about how to use video in YouTube and beyond later this afternoon. So we know that it is a place where people go. In fact, Google's the #1 search engine in the world, and YouTube's #2. It is also a social network and a search engine. So it's got a really unique flavor to it. And the search results in YouTube actually show up on the first 10 searches of an organic Google search, which is where you want to be. Because if people can't find you when they're searching, okay, understand if you're not in the first 10 organic search results. So do know when you're looking at a search result page, so you've searched for something in Google, you will see photos at the top. Those are Google shopping ads. That's a paid position. So you have to pay to be in those photos. Right underneath it, the very first result is a text result, and that is an ad. So that is also a paid position. After that, there are 10 organic search results, first on your 4.5-inch screen. And when you see those 10 have to be earned. If you don't show up there, people do not look past the 10. you do not exist. Unless they're hunting you down, you owe them money, or they specifically know you, your product, service, or solution. They're not looking for you. So if you don't show up in the first 10 searches, then consider yourself invisible. And you don't want to be that for the marketplace, especially even your local marketplace. I'm a big fan of Main Street America. I live in rural America. I live in the base of the panhandle of Texas, Midland, Odessa. You may know us that Jessica Fell in the Well or Friday Night Lights. It really depends. But I do live where it is 110 miles to go to a chamber luncheon if I want to, and 110 miles back. So I understand that, and Caliche roads and everything in between, and stock shows. Had a lot of good stock shows this weekend. But as you look at this, even locally, people are looking at their local vendors, their local suppliers, their local boutiques, their local shops to see if they carry that product or service that they're looking for. So they are going online to do that. Now, I'm going to go past this because this is a video and I don't feel confident yet in showing videos through Zoom. I might try that at the end just to give you a hint, but I'm not going to do that at the very beginning. Let me build my confidence level just a bit, okay? And if I can't show it, I will make sure it's in that link that you have through the QR code or that you screen grab with the bit.ly, the short code. All right, so we'll talk about how Google search works, because it's important for you to understand that. If you don't know how it works, how can you show up in the first 10 searches? How to reach those customers through search engine optimization. You may have heard that term many times. It's called SEO. If you're not familiar with it, yes, the bit.ly short code. Yeah, there was a bit.ly short code. Let me go back real quick just because I don't want to get too far. Donna, thank you so much for dropping that in the chat box too for everybody. But there it is. Let me get my little red dot out of there. There's the QR code and there's the bit.ly short code. If you want a copy of today's actual replay and everything else, again, give me 24 hours to get that in there for you, okay? All right, hopefully you screen grab that. But if you don't understand how to handle SEO, then that means you don't understand how to make the search engine see you. So if the search engine doesn't see you, that being Google search, then that means that when people are searching for you, it can't give you as a result to people because it doesn't even itself know you exist. So if you think of Google bot as a person and really frame that relationship with how a best customer, the best prospective customer would actually work with you, that's most important, okay? And how they would find you. We'll also talk about how you can create a business profile. How many of you have a Google business profile? Just let me know in the chat box. Now, I'll talk a little bit, just a smidgen about online advertising, and I'm actually going to show you, if we have enough time, what you can use free in ads, because I think that's more important. I'm about free or small fee, so pay attention. Awesome. I see some people with their business profile. All right, those of you who have a Google business profile, how many of you posted on there today? Okay, have posted either an offer, an update, or an event. So I'll spend just a smidgen of time on online ads because I like to focus on maximizing what's free first before it's small fee, right? Perfect. Adrian did the posting. Absolutely. Becky, put it on your list, right? And then as always, I end with free recaps and resources. So you could take action on what you learned because knowledge is not powerful until it is applied. All right, so let's talk about how Google search works because this is very, very important. And I'm just gonna, let me see, there we go. Just have to move this a little bit. There we go. Let's jump in. When you're typing something into Google search, you're used to seeing this. You type it in and you get search results, right? You can type it in at the address bar at the top or right here in the actual search bar. What you see there is what I described a moment ago. You will see ads. So this one, in this instance, what you're seeing in front of you, the graphic doesn't have the photos on top, but you see the first text result, which is an ad. And you see it's denoted by ad. It's very clearly marked. And after that, there are 10 organic search results. That's where you want to show up. But if you have a Google business profile, which is 100% free, even if you're a home-based business, all right. A lot of people believe the myth that a home-based business can't have a Google business profile because their home address is going to show up on Google Maps and you can suppress that. So it doesn't publish that in Google Maps, but still show up. I live in Midland, Texas, and all my skincare vendors and representatives want to show up that they service Midland, Texas, but they just don't want people showing up at 4 o'clock in the morning at their doorstep looking for foundation, right? So understand that your Google business profile is a very large visual real estate that can help you with branding that hangs out right here. That's 100% free. And you, yes, you have total control of the information that shows up on Google search and maps. right here. So it's important to have that and claim that. And if you haven't claimed that, that's really important too, because somebody else might be operating and representing and actually taking away your reputation. And understand, reputation online is just like reputation offline. It's very lasting. So when we look at search, what happens is Google goes and looks for information when a searcher says, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, or they go ahead and type in exactly what they're looking for, and it goes out and searches. It looks at everything and brings that back in. In fact, Google is not the World Wide Web, like a lot of people believe, but it is the biggest library of the World Wide Web. So if you think of that back in the day, and I'm going to date myself, but back in the day when you would need to find something in an actual library, you'd go to the card catalog, you'd look through, it was filed by the Dewey Decimal System, then you'd go out to the stats and you'd go look for the books. Well, Googlebot is doing the same thing. My question to you as a small business is, do you just hope that Googlebot is going to find you? Or have you entered your online presence, your website, and your information into Google in the actual library? Because you have total control of that, and you need to do that. But a lot of people have no idea, and they just hope that Googlebot's going to find them. And while I love hope, it's amazing to have, it's a poor business strategy. Okay, so yes, there is a copy of the recording, as long as you've got to use the QR code. So I'll share that at the end. Right? I'll share that at the end, and the actual short link. I shared at the beginning, but I don't want to take everybody through that again because I've actually done that twice now. So in fact, Donna, I love that you put that before in the chat. You know, if you want to put the link to the short code to get to a copy, the copy again of all of this will not show up till tomorrow. Yes, hope is a poor business strategy. Oh, yes, Emily, I'm laughing. I'm laughing with you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I wish we were in person because I would be just enjoying that over my cup of coffee. So reaching customers takes search engine optimization. This is making sure that Googlebot knows who you are, that your information is in the library, and you can show up in those first 10 organic search results, because if you don't, then you don't exist. Now, let me dispel another myth that's also popular. People think the Google business profile is competing with their website. It is not. It is a chance for you to show up and dominate those first 10 searches. If it's all about you, you've really elevated and positioned yourself now as someone that is an expert at what you do. And it doesn't matter the budget that we have. We all want to deal with somebody who's an expert. So it's really great positioning. And in the race for visibility, I would much rather have 2 horses. The stats are just better that I could win visibility than just one. So as we look at the organic search results, this is what it looks like when it appears in front of you. It's actually there. Plus, you might even have extensions if you set up your website right that actually show your products, your services, maybe even your store locations. Now, what is SEO again? It's making sure that Googlebot, and along with any other search engine, so what's good for Googlebot is good for any other search engine, understand that it can see you. So look at the very top, bottom left, sorry, not top, but bottom left hand corner, and you will see there is an SEO starter guide that's 100% free. If you want to screenshot that, then you can take a look at that before you get a copy of today's slides, you know, tonight or tomorrow. But it's really making it more visible and understanding your website, because understand that if your website is not visible to Google, if it's not fast, so there are 2 factors that really affect where you show up in organic search, and you don't even have a hope in the world of showing up in the first 10 search results if your site is, number 1, not mobile responsive. It has to be mobile responsive, which means that you do not have to pinch and zoom or swipe side to side to be able to read something on a 4.5-inch screen. If you cannot do that with your site, then it doesn't matter. You can put the greatest search engine optimization out there and just pour money into it. You're not going to get to the top in the first 10 searches of organic search. And if your site is not secure, so you must have the HTTPS. So keep that in mind too. Okay. So as we look here at content, make sure you're publishing great content, because Google does look at that. It looks to see if you're plagiarized, if you've duplicated anything. Oh, Judy's not seeing any slides. Is everybody seeing slides in front of them, or they're not seeing slides? Let me know. Just give me some feedback here. Okay, everybody else says they can see slides. So It might be your setup on Zoom. It could be that the people in front of you are just right there, and that needs to be minimized. If you go to the very top of Zoom, understand I'm a Zoom newbie, but go to the very top and you can exit full view and it might change that. So it might be your actual settings. Perfect. Thank you, everybody, for letting me know you can see the slides. I thought, oh, this is horrible if you can't see that. You need both right in front of you. Click to see shared content. Thank you so much. Somebody here knows how to use Zoom. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about then also your page titles and descriptions. It's important for you to be relevant to what people are typing in, which means you have to match. If you think about that, Googlebot actually goes and finds you and finds through the algorithm three factors in that algorithm to determine whether or not your site shows up first in that first 10 searches of an organic search. And number one is relevance. How well are you matching? So if you're not using their words, you may not match. Googlebot may not know that. For example, if somebody is looking for, I don't know how to fix my 13-year-old's teeth, and you all over all of your content on your website and your Google business profile are saying you're a pediatric dentist, Googlebot does not see that they are one and the same. If you say, though, on your site and your business description for your Google business profile, we help people, children, women, men, adults, whoever you help, be able to correct their teeth and straighten those. Now you are working in words that people are using. If you don't know what words people use, I'm going to show you that in a minute. They're called keywords and keyword phrases, but it will help you show up. And it's also important for your site to be organized. A lot of us utilize our website, especially the homepage, as our junk drawer. It's a hot mess. We just dump everything in there and hope that you will again find what you're looking for. There's that hope again, but we very much want to be strategic. Keep it organized. All right. 84% of people will jump off of a website if it's too confusing for them to find anything. So being able to have great content, it organized and use in your titles and descriptions, words that people actually use, their own words, and that you're organized is very key. One of the places that you can look is in your reviews. If you look at your reviews, people in their own words are telling you what matters most to them and what words they use. They also, if you happen to read your competitors' reviews, which is great competitive research, by the way, I would look at that and see what they're actually good at and what people are really raving about, because those are words you might want to use in your descriptions, page titles also, but you'll see what they're missing on that could be a sweet spot for you. So another place is a free Google tool. This is 100% free, called Google Trends. I love Google Trends. I bring this up every morning while I have my cup of hot coffee. I look and see, and I actually put competitors' names in there of businesses that I work with, and I see what people are looking for that they're finding the competitors. So we can see if those eyeballs, we can get some of them looking at us. So you can look at Google Trends. You can get there by going to that site at the left-hand corner, g.co/trends. Now, what can you do with Google Trends? Well, on the right-hand side, my other left, I almost said, my right-hand side, you'll see all those blue dots. That's how to access Google Trends and what you can do. But here's what you can really use it for. You can see if people are searching for certain products and topics. Maybe you have that and you can show up. It takes a tremendous amount of time, energy, and money to get people who are looking here to look over here. And you just don't have that, because we are going to have to make sure that we are making money as small businesses. So it's important to keep that in mind. I'm glad you like the closed caption. I hope I'm enunciating, because sometimes I see some of the funkiest things come from there, but I want to make this as easy a learning experience and comfortable for everyone. So thank you. You're very welcome. I'm happy to help. And thank you for letting me know it's helpful to you. And for giving me grace also, because it's also capturing the speed of my talk and my West Texas drawl. It also shows seasonal trends in Google Trends. So you can see whether or not maybe in November or maybe in February is when you have lulls and highs, and you can start planning for that. It's great for keyword research. So if you've ever sat there and wondered, especially when you're on socials, what am I going to post today? I don't know what I'm going to post today. Well, why don't you post something that will be visible? to what matters most to your best customer or to your community, because you can look by community. So it can get as focused as, I want to look in Durant, Oklahoma. I want to look in Oklahoma City. I want to look in Midland, Odessa, Texas. Odessa is just 16 miles down the road from us. So sometimes we'll look for those together. I want to look to see what people in Corpus Christi are looking for. We were working with a veterinarian in Corpus Christi, and it happened to be that day in Corpus Christi, people were searching for cheapest veterinarian in Corpus Christi. They were not the cheapest, but every post, even did a blog, even a video, everything that he did, even on TikTok, was about how he was not the cheapest, but he was the best because of these 5 reasons about how they treat your 4-legged family member, just like that, as family. It really was a great way to take advantage of, this is where people are, and this is where he wanted to be visible for the first time. Instead of trying to drive them over here through all sorts of other tools, he was using this and using the actual focus of fishing where the fish are, right? It makes sense. It also helps keep your content fresh. You want to keep that fresh. Number 2 in Google's algorithm is the prominence or the quality of your actual site. So understand, number 1 is relevance, right? Number 2 in Google's secret sauce of how it decides what shows up in the 10 organic search results is actual prominence. So when was the last time you updated your site? When was the last time you actually put video on your site and updated that? Was it video that people wanted to watch? Is it content that people are actually reading and consuming? It looks at all of that, okay? And also, when was the last time you got reviews and responded to reviews? Do you monitor competitors? I showed you how to do that, or shared with you how I do that already. Maybe even looking at the trends on YouTube. Remember what I said about YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world? It's also the number 2 social network, not behind TikTok, but behind Instagram, because a lot of people do Instagram reels and stories, but a lot of people repurpose that into shorts and they just make the most of the content already. So you can see what's trending there. And then also Google Shopping. Since Google started in 2004, that's how far back you can see trends, especially if you're a business that, let's say, it takes about 6 to 8 years. So it's a longer sales cycle before people actually will buy your item, okay? So number 1, look at upload speed. After you look at whether or not your site is secure and whether or not it's mobile responsive, because remember, if it's not those 2 things, there's nothing in the world you can do to show up in the first 10 searches of an organic search result. The next is load time. This is very important. If it takes too long to load on a mobile, people will go down the road and scroll past to the next person that has that product, service, or solution. Okay, what is a good load time? Anything less than 4 seconds. It has to be less, because in 4 seconds, you will lose over half, 53% of your traffic. You can be working your butt off trying to get people, you're posting, you're doing email marketing, you're paying for ads, you've even got traditional media going for you, you're trying to get them there. And if it takes longer than 4 seconds to load on a mobile device, you will lose 53%, over half. And for every second over, you will lose another 10%. We don't have the kind of time to lose that kind of visibility and traffic that we pay or work so hard for. We may pay for in money or blood, sweat, and tears. It's important for us to know how fast our site loads. Now, understand, those stats are even a little bit dated, because now when I'm working with teams on a mobile, I tell them, if it is a brand website, really just supporting the brand, maybe they're doing some hiring, they do downloads of PDFs there, it needs to load in 1.2 seconds, 1.2 seconds, or else people will leave. Our attention span is much shorter. If it is an e-commerce site, so that's a bunch of different products and pictures and everything there, so it's a little bit more loaded, it needs to load in 1.8 seconds. Got 1.2 to 1.8, not the 4 seconds I was talking about. People are not that patient anymore. I am telling you this because if you don't test your site and see how fast it is, you could be losing people. I work with a lot of people who put together Shopify stores. I know that Shopify is easy to use and nice because it already comes with themes already built in. The problem is some of those themes, so that's the actual background and the structure, take 3.8 seconds to load. just the theme, let alone all the content that you're going to put in there, all the blog posts, the text, the photos, all of that, all slow it down. So keep that in mind when you're choosing themes, that it cannot be that slow. It needs to be 1.2 or 1.8 seconds, and you can test it right here at this URL at your bottom left. Now, remember what I said about Google Library and how we all hope that Googlebot is finding us? Well, this is the door to the library. If you have not entered your information into Google, then maybe on your to-do list today, after we finish, you are putting at the top of the list that you are going to enter your information into Google's library. So if you want to take a screenshot right there at the bottom left-hand corner of the door to the library, this is it. You're going to enter your website in. You will verify that you're the business owner. And now you will see how fast your site is, what Google sees, whether or not it thinks your site is mobile responsive, what Google is missing. Maybe it sees the wrong thing, or maybe some things in your site are not visible at all to Google. It may just see one page. So I just want to let you know that you have total control of that. And if we do have time after this, when we're at the end in the question and answer time, I will show you, for some of you, I'll be able to show you what Google actually sees, but you can do that yourself by going to this URL, and now you can control Google. I know when people don't do this, because I hear people, I could be picking up coffee and I hear somebody saying, I don't know why Google can't find me. And then it's showing this page that has nothing to do with me, that is a business I was in 2 years ago. I know that's somebody who is not actually actively controlling what Google sees. So this is how you do that. You're going to go to google.com and you will actually search now what people are seeing. So that's how you can see it. I'll show you another way that you can see it as well. But this is one easy way for you to do that and see whether or not Google sees you or you show up in the first 10 searches. Now, before we go further, is there any at all questions? A text copy of these links would be helpful. Absolutely, you will get a text copy within the actual slides as well. Not going to put it here because that's a little bit more coordinating for me as a new Zoomie. All right, I'm sure once I get the Zoom platform down, I'll be able to do this back and forth like crazy. I'm not used to having, just so you know, a chat box here. Normally I just get a question box, which is one way and it's terrible. So I love this. So now I'm already thinking about that. Okay, so thank you for that information. I need to have that and be able to copy and paste that quickly. The best place to keyword search is Google Trends. Google Trends, Trends. Okay. And I'll share all those at the end too. There's one nice slide that has everything there that you can use. All right, let's talk about the Google Business Profile. Some Google Business packages come with the site, some don't. Does this fit? Yes, absolutely. Yes, Google does play friendly with Google. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people will get a Google site. Remember what I said about you can have your website, but what's wrong with also having a Google Business Profile and a Google site? Because that's the more the horses that you have in the race, the more opportunity to win visibility. So I'm all for that. And especially since they play friendly, what's nice from search engine optimization, and this is an expert tip, just so that you know, if you get all your Google tools, Google Analytics, that's 100% free. Google Search Console, you link it to your website. Google Merchant Center. If you have products and services that you're selling online, Google Merchant Center, that's 100% free. YouTube, that's a Google tool. So connect YouTube. If you connect all of those together and let Google know they all belong to your business, then Google confirms that, and you actually go up higher in the search results because they know that you're a viable business. Understand that the only reason Google's the #1 search engine in the world is because it does confirm left and right that the information it's delivering is correct. Okay. So in going to your profile, for those of you who don't have a profile, you're going to go to google.com/business. Why did Google end the business app? The reason it ended it is because it's now in Maps. So that same exact app is in Google Maps. If you go to Google Maps and you're logged into your Google account that you created, your Google Business Profile, you'll find it there. It did that to make it easy for people to make changes in search and to consolidate things. So you can have all the things in Maps. People are using Maps, might as well have it there because a lot of people didn't realize that their business profile also shows up in Maps. Is paying for Google ads? We'll talk about that in just a minute, but Google ads are the one thing that do not determine where you show up in search results, not an organic search result. You can pay to show up in Google Shopping. You can pay to show up as the first text ad result, but in organic search, Google ads have nothing to do with it. Okay. So how you can make the most of your business profile, you can actually complete your information. So if you're logged into the Google account you created, your Google business profile, and you claimed and verified it, then when you go to Google and you're logged in, it recognizes your credentials and you can come here and start making changes. You can even read reviews and respond to reviews, and you can manage all of this either in search or on maps. What you can also post, when you heard me talk about that, as people were talking about the fact they have a business profile, is that you can do post about the latest updates that are happening in the store, maybe, or in your actual area, or if you're working from home, you might do an update of, oh, I just worked with this great client, or I'm going to this great training, I attended this great webinar that Maria led. So you could do all of those things. I just want to let you know you can update that. And if you update that at least every 5 days, that's a signal to the algorithm that you are active in your business. It doesn't want to give results of a business that's dead and dying. So you're active in your business, and now it pushes you higher in search and mobile. You can also respond to reviews and to messages. I like to activate messages on a Google business profile because I know how immediate people are now, and that if people don't get a response right away, they will go down the line. Realtors know this for sure. Real estate agents will tell you the person that answers the phone is the one to win the business. Absolutely. Every 5 days needs to be a part of your posting strategy to just keep that visibility up. And Karen, it doesn't have to be something brand new that you created. You can use and repurpose what you use in socials. Not everybody are on socials. Not everybody's there on Facebook or TikTok or LinkedIn or Instagram. They're not there. So you can repurpose that and still get your audience without you having to create new content. I'm all about curating content that you've already made. Okay. So I encourage you to do that. Repurposing content is what I love to do, in fact, because I love to see where you get the most visibility from it. So this is what you need to do to claim your Google business profile. Understand, even if you have one up there, it could be a customer checked in, somebody gave you a great review, any of those reasons, but understand that until you claim and verify that you're the business owner, anybody can do anything with it. So you need to claim and verify, because this is your online rep, okay? Your daughter repurposes content, smart gal, because it is what people need to do. They just still think that they have to keep creating content, and there's just a lot of content out there. And really on socials, at the most, given good social posts, only 20% of the people following you see what you actually posted. That's why you can even repost things again later on, because sometimes they just didn't see it. It's timing, right? So now I'm going to talk a little bit about online ads. And I don't know if I want to get brave. Actually, let me see if I want to get brave real quick. And to a video. Okay. Sorry about this, guys. This is Maria. This is definitely Maria's operator error here, because I did not bring up the video. Here you go. But you can see. There we go. Well, now you can't see it, right? All right, here we go. Thanks for giving me a little bit grace here, everybody. You see, I learned to. You know what? I don't like people to just watch me looking for something. So what I'll do is I'll send it to you, okay? Or I'll save it to the end, all right? Because it is really a great story about how somebody used Google Ads and how you can creatively use it. So if you can stay to the end, great. That'll give me a moment to bring it up where I need it to be. So I just didn't drop and drag it like I should have. All right, there we go. Going back to the presentation. Now I'm back here. So we'll get past the ads about the video about Google Ads, and we'll talk about ads. But remember what I said, I'm just going to spend a short time on this and really talk about what you can use free here. Now, it is a great tool if you know who your target audience is, if you have SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Okay, so make sure you have all of those. That's when I would start looking at ads. So you really need to know who your target audience is, where they're at, your best customers. This isn't anybody, everybody, and somebody. because you will spend a tremendous amount of money trying to reach them. I mean, Coca-Cola type money, right? Reach out and touch everybody, Coca-Cola type money, and you will not see that kind of return. So understand you've got to think about who that best customer is, the one who gives you the most pleasure and profit. You can serve anybody, everybody, and somebody, but your ads will bring you back nobody if you're not specific. So do keep that in mind. What is it that you and who is it that you serve? What makes you unique? And now know what those SMART goals are so you can make the most of ads. Don't do ads until then, because it truly is a waste of money. All right, now, when we're looking at ads, just so that you know, if you decide to do ads, it'll show up in our partner sites. So partner sites, there's a little over 3,000 partner sites where it could show up, which is great, because if you know who your best customer is, now you can target and say, I want to work with women who are 25 to 34 years old, who have a dog, who went to college and have a Suburban or an SUV. You can get that targeted, okay? But you need to know who that is, and you can control where those ads show up and your budget. Smart campaigns is by default how people start in Google Ads. I like it because it does keep that at the top of the actual ad, being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. So it keeps that focus there. And you can just walk through, and I call it the Mad Libs of ads. So it's fill in the blank. It's pretty intuitive while you're going through there. And we do a whole webinar about that. So I won't talk about that as much now, but you still might want to screenshot this if you decide to go and look deeper into ads. And I'm happy Oklahoma SBDC and SCORE Austin to come back and talk about learning the basic of Google Ads, because I'm not going to cover that here today. But as you're going through smart campaigns, this is what it looks like. You'll enter your business name. You're going to put the website that you want them to go to. If you are, for example, in the video that I'll show you later about Trade Street Jam, if you're selling jam, take them to the page about jam. Don't make them search your site. It's the #1 mistake people make in their ads, is they take them to the home page. Never, ever, ever do that, because that is a waste of money. Then you can preview what that landing page is. You can see here what it looks like on mobile and desktop, mobile on the left, desktop on the right. You can decide on your goal. See, this is why it's important for you to have really smart goals, because it could be, if you want more calls, it's going to present differently. You'll spend a different budget there. The same thing with getting more sales or leads on your website if you want them to fill out a contact form or download something, and compared to them coming to your physical address, okay? So that's what you're looking for. Once you choose that, you'll see everything here is pretty self-explanatory. Right here at the very bottom right corner, you'll see how many characters you can use for each of these areas. Understand, a character is a punctuation mark and a letter. It's a space. So it's giving you how close you are to going over that, and you need to be pretty short and succinct. Some of these you'll only have 30 characters, but you'll see you have a few headlines, 3 headlines, and a couple of descriptions, which descriptions are 90 characters. Now you can choose a keyword theme. You can put in your industry. If you have a Google business profile, it will pull the category that you've chosen and let you know that there are different themes you can use and suggested themes that you can add just by clicking on the plus sign here and plussing those in. And the reason I bring that up is because let's lean into Google's AI. Google has the data in industries. Lean into that and learn from that data, from other people's experience. It's as valuable as other people's money. And find out what works best. Then you can look at it for you, use and leap from that experience. So you're actually using that as a platform to leap off of. And then once you do that, now you can measure and make your own decisions. You can set locations, so you can drag it close or far away from you. If you know people are a certain zip code, a certain county, I always go with the set budget, because I'm not a set it and forget it gal. I always test to see where things are going and clicks are coming from after 3 days. But now you can look and review it, make sure it's saying everything that you want, and it's promoting everything that you want, and it's going to the right website page. Now, this is when you put the payment part in, okay? Remember what I said, though, about you don't need to use Google Ads just for payment. What I love about Google Ads is this. Let me show you this. I'll bring this up because this is me actually doing a screen share now. Let me see and make sure Zoom is catching this. So, do you see Google Ads in front of you? I hope you do. Let me know in the question box. So it should say discover new keywords is what you should see in front of you. If somebody would just confirm that with me in the chat box. Okay, you're not seeing that. All right, let me see. I'm going to do a new share. Oh, there we go. Thank you all for being so patient with this Zoom newbie. You can, this is just my second webinar on Zoom. All right, perfect. Perfect. So now you can see it. Thank you. You guys are so helpful. Thank you. And patient. So you can see here in Google Ads, you can get to the keyword planner by going here to see at the very top right-hand bar here in the gray bar, you see the little toolbar that looks like a wrench. Click on that, and you can see in the very left-hand column the word planning. See keyword planner. Now, a lot of people pay money for keyword planners, and I'm not saying there's not good tools out there, but this is awesome. This is free, and you don't have to even put your credit card to put this in to get here. You can get past all of the questions that ask you and just say skip, and then get here. And then let's say you want to put your website in. So somebody give me your website in the question or in the chat box. Give me your website, because I'm going to click on discover new keywords, and I'm going to start with a website. Thank you, wendycrest.com. And I see that you got the HP. Yeah, looks good. Okay. All right. I'm going to use the entire site for it to suggest keywords. So get search results. Now, take a look here. These are keywords. It's showing up what keywords it found from your site. I know this is super tiny, guys. Let me make this bigger. All right. I hope that helps a little bit. The font is a little bit faint here, but you can start looking and seeing what the keywords are. You can see whether or not how many searches. This is not 10 by itself. This is 10 to 100,000. So these are all in Ks, just so that you know the search that they're having, and then whether or not, if you're doing ads, what the ad price per click. So when you do Google Ads, you don't pay to use the ads, you pay per click. So that's why it's CPC, cost per click, or PPC, pay per call, if they're calling in from an ad. Okay, so that's what the difference is here. Let me see, I'm going to try Credit Coach Queen. All right, so I'm just going to go back here up to tools and hit to keyword planner. Remember, we're using that. And let me go to, okay, credit. Oh, let me see if I can copy it. No. Oh, I can copy out of chat. Let me go, because this may be better. Sorry, my camera stands in the way. Not a pretty picture, right? Okay, get results. Can you get an ads account without buying an ad? Absolutely. It's 100% free. I always connect it to, because it's part of search engine optimization. Whether or not you use ads or not, you do not have to put your credit card in. But a lot of people don't know this. And I actually teach people how to use this, and even more within Google Ads. That's 100% free. But you can see here, so look at the competition. I'm looking at that row. Competition is how competitive it's going to be. So if I was choosing a keyword for a site, for example, I would look at what's medium competition, because there's enough visibility there, but I have enough of a chance to stand out and be unique and be seen. High competition, that's going to be hard. I better have a lot of content to throw towards that. So that's going to be hard for me to be seen in the first 10 searches. Low may not be enough. You know, it could be that I'm just right there at the very top, but it's crickets and nobody's looking there. Okay. So that's what you're looking for. And then of course, this is how you can make decisions on how you do your ads right there. Okay. But that is utilizing that. Oh, let me see. Give Liz a list. Okay. Let me, Liza a list, or Liz a list. Is that it? All right. I'm going to try that one last one, and then we'll get on and finish up our session here together. All right, go here. Remember, you can start with words too. If you've heard people talking with things on Google Trends and you want to try it here, you can, to see how it applies specifically to you, or you can start directly with your website. Let me see if it'll go with that. Yeah, it did. It didn't need the HTTPS. Okay, real low competition, which means, Liz, a couple of things. You need to look at your website, because maybe Google can't see your website either. You might not be matching with the words that people are using. So I would look at Google Trends, and also look at your reviews and your competitors' reviews. Make sense? Okay, let me go back to the slides. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, I'm learning how to do all sorts of things. All right. Now we can do lots of variations. Remember, I said I wouldn't spend a lot of time on that. So I do want to get through our recap and resources and give you enough time for Q&A. All right. So you've learned about the 3 ways you can appear at the top of a Google search. One are ads. You can pay for the position. You can earn it with organic search results, and you could definitely want for 100% free, claim your Google business profile and manage that. You can manage it yourself, pay somebody to manage it. It's really your call, but now you know about it. You can also, as I said here, know that you can use these tools to find out whether or not your site is actually friendly, mobile friendly. Enter your site into the library. You are now no longer just relying on hope. You'll have it as a wonderful thing to have, but you will apply what you've learned by also claiming your Google business profile. And if you're at a position to start looking at ads, at the very least, get on Google Ads to look at the keyword planner, 100% free. Just do not feel like you're bugged by the time it's going to ask you for a credit card. You don't have to put it in, okay? And if you need any other training at all, get with a Google partner who invited you here. You can go to this website to see what is actually available, and they will actually get with me, reach out to me, and we can do this again. And I will probably be much more savvy at Zoom then, right? This is everything that you need though. Okay, so I didn't have it in text format to drop it in the chat box, but you could do a screenshot of this and you have everything that you need. And if you remember, in about 24 hours, I will really try to get this out tonight where it is at the link that I sent you or that you have in front of you that you screenshot or that you took a quick snap of the QR code. It will be there in that link in the next, as I said, 24 hours, but I'm really going to try tonight to get that to you. It'll be the webinar replay, a copy of today's slides, and the handout, okay? For you, remember what I said, that knowledge is not powerful until it is applied, okay? So this is really important because I've shared a lot of things with you, but I also believe in the phrase that you can lead a person. I mean, you can lead a horse to water and you can't make them drink. You can lead a person to knowledge, but you can't make them think. Okay, so this is all now on you. Ball's on your court. What are you going to apply? I'd love to hear it. Just let me know in the chat box because I love to be able to celebrate with you online and do virtual dances. Again, remember, Oklahoma SBDC and SCORE Austin, they have the boots on the ground there to help you and to support you. If you have any other further questions, I'm really bad about getting back with email. It takes me from 4 to 5 days because I am in sessions like this. That doesn't mean at all that I discount or don't appreciate you reaching out. I just don't want you to wait. I know you're a small business and cash flow is king. So I would much rather you work with people who are actually vested in your success, who can support you right away because they have the team there too. Okay. All right, everyone. And remember, if you would like to give me a review, I love everything that you're saying here. I love and appreciate the feedback so much. But I also love when you can give me a review. So you could do that here if you feel so inclined. Do not feel like you have to. I just would be greatly appreciative of it. And how you can stay in contact with me, I'll show you in just a moment. This is how, if you go to bit.ly/find Maria, it has every way to connect with me. Of course, some of the ones people like to go to is right to the page where I do virtual courses and virtual sessions like this, free sessions. So they want to go to Maria Coaches or on Instagram and Twitter, but this is every which way that you can find me here. So feel free to utilize that. And remember what I said about what are you going to apply, right? So what is it you're going to apply? I would love to see in the question box. I'm going to go, or the chat box, sorry. I'm used to the old platform. I'm going to stop